Hello, and welcome to Talk Relationship to Me, the show that explores some of the most important relationship topics. I'm Dr. Elana Hoffman. As a clinical psychologist, I focus on all things relationships. From dating to sex to long-term relationships to divorce, I cover it all. I use my professional lens as a psychologist as well as lived experience to cover these topics. Do you need to talk relationships? You're in the right place. On today's episode, I have Georgina Ferzli from Bravo's in the City, and I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming on.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. I am a huge Bravo fan. I'm a huge In the City fan. Like any of my clients will tell you, I recommend Bravo shows all the time to have important relationship concepts illustrated. I think that what you guys do is so brave and so great, and people can learn so much from watching and, so many skills that we are not taught. It's so great. So I am a huge reality TV enthusiast and I loved the show so much. So this is such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I agree. I think people can learn a lot by observing others, and this is a really nice way to do it. So what a cool idea. Your patients are very lucky.
Thank you. They get some eye rolls sometimes, but when they actually do it, I think it's very beneficial.
No, I can see why. I definitely see why. Having lived it, I completely agree.
Totally. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how you got on the show and just what it was like for you.
Yes. So I never thought I would be on the show. I knew Lindsay was kind of brewing the idea of maybe doing this type of a show after Summer House. I filmed a scene for Summer House a couple of years ago, right after my daughter was born. I think Amanda was planning on maybe having kids with Kyle at that time, and Lindsay was already pregnant. So they had me come with both of my kids to a picnic. My daughter was like 3 months old,
Oh my gosh.
to talk about or show them what it's like. And the producers met me that day, and I think they liked who I was. That show didn't make it onto TV. I didn't get consent from my ex or co-parent, so they couldn't air it. But
Okay, gotcha.
it kind of like put me into the pool, I guess. And then when this new show In the City became a thing, Lindsay told them I would be great. I went through the interviews completely not taking it seriously whatsoever. I was like, oh, whatever. Like, there's no way. I'm a doctor. I've never been the cool kid. I'm not going to be on TV. And then I actually lasered my face the day before my interview at 30 Rock, and I looked like a pumpkin that was smashed. And and then I realized what a big deal it was. And then when they gave me the offer, it was kind of just like, this is scary, but I can make it work. So why not? Let's see what this does for life.
Totally.
I am happy I did it.
I love that. And well, it sounds like you showed up pretty real. You just lasered your face and you're like, well, this is me. This is what is happening right now.
Apparently they loved that. They were like, well, she's not going to hide anything.
Totally.
And I was Lindsay's dermatologist. So that's how I kind of met her, and we became friends over the years. And I met Yvonne through Lindsay. Everybody else was kind of new to me.
Okay.
Relatively speaking. I am a couple of their dermatologists. I can't really say who. But otherwise, they're all pretty new to me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you knew Lindsay. So you've known Lindsay for a while then?
10 years.
Okay.
9 years. And I've known Yvonne for 5.
Okay.
So, and Nick, obviously.
Yep.
So everybody else I kind of knew, but were like Danielle I had met before. Amanda had met a couple of times and filmed with her once, but not my best friends beforehand at all.
Okay. Yeah. When you said you did a scene, I was like, would I have remembered that from Summer House? I've watched Summer House from the beginning. So
It didn't make it on. You would have remembered. It was a 2-month-old. There was a 1.5-year-old, and Amanda talking about freezing embryos or eggs, and Lindsay pregnant, and it was like 100 degrees. It was There's
I'm
a
sure I would
picnic.
have
No,
remembered. I'm sure it was
yeah,
memorable.
you would have remembered. No, they didn't air it, but apparently they can use the footage now if they want to. So maybe they'll use it at some point. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a good scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. So what was it like to film the show? Like what was it? Did you have expectations about it? Was it different or the same from what you expected?
I was wildly underprepared. I think that's why I come off so authentic, I guess, because I just showed up.
I
Like
love it.
I left work and went to the first filming, I was still in the clothes I wore to the office that day. I had fun filming, if we're being honest. I don't really get out much. So, as regularly as they do when they film, like I'll go out to dinner with my friends here and there. I have clothes here in the office, but,
Yeah, I love that too. That was such like a that's such
yeah.
a that's such a good a move, right? Like prepared for anything.
Right, for anything. Well, it's also if I go home to get ready, I'm not making it back out
Totally.
between the guilt of leaving my children and the comfort of just sitting down. Like
Yeah,
I get ready here because otherwise I'm not going.
totally.
Um, but it was forced socializing. I got to hang out with people and go to new places, and it's really fun. Filming is really fun. I mean, it's a lot of time, but it's like, and people see it as work because it's their job. But for me, it wasn't really my job. This is my job. Being
Yeah,
here is my job. I'm a
right.
doctor, so
Yep,
I never saw it as work. I was like, this is great. There's a network paying for my dinner.
totally.
It's most of the time in my drinks, and I get to wear makeup and go out. This is wonderful. So I had a really nice time filming. I think the hardest part about the show was adjusting to the airing portion of things,
Yeah,
um, and the attention, which I never had, and I'm not sure I love so much. But filming was amazing. It was really fun, and I got to know all these new people for better or worse. So.
yeah,
Um, Yvonne and I grew a lot closer during filming than we had ever been. We still are. I got to see one of my best friends, Lindsay's work, like this was her life.
totally.
Um,
Interesting.
and
Yeah,
you learn a lot being on TV.
I bet.
Um, you're almost forced to be honest in situations where, I mean, I'm an honest person and I'm probably a really good liar. I can't remember things. Like I can barely remember life. So even if I try a white lie, I'm like, I
It's
can't
too
do it. I can't
complicated.
even, there's too much mental load in my life for me to complicate things more than they already are. So, but
Totally. Yeah,
you're kind of forced to, be accountable. Or if you're not, you're going to hear it. So I think that's a really beneficial, it's almost like therapy. You have to sit there and talk about what happened and how
totally.
you felt about it and
Totally.
why you said what you said.
Totally.
So I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm watching House of Stassi right now, and she talks about how she's like, reality TV is like the best therapy. She's like, fuck your therapist, like go on reality TV. And I kind of loved that she said that. And I have thought for a long time, like production, it's like they are asking you questions that a therapist would ask you, right? Like what made you do this? How did you feel? How do you feel about this person? What did it make you, I mean, it's like it is not therapy because it's not officially therapy, but it is, makes you reflect in the way that at least my approach to therapy with my clients hopefully does,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's lots of different approaches, but for me, it's about learning about yourself and insight and understanding and patterns and doing things differently. And there are many ways to do that. Therapy is one of them. Being on a reality show is one of them. Watching reality shows is one of them. Reading books, watching movies, listening to podcasts, right? There's all kinds of ways for self growth and reflection. So I really believe that like it was, you learned a lot about yourself.
I definitely did. And in like surprisingly in good and bad ways, I was proud of myself a lot. Watching it back, I was like, I'm really glad I said that, or I'm really glad I, apologized for that. Um, you also learn patterns. I mean, there was a lot that didn't necessarily make it on the show, from my end because of my schedule and filming, and I think I pissed somebody off, so I got less airtime because I missed a scene here and there, and
Mm.
That's fine. Hopefully next season it'll be a little easier. But I you you watch yourself or others, like you watch your friends and you're like, they got to stop doing this. Like this is a pattern. This is so you and then you watch people not get it. You know what I mean? Me too. Like I watch myself not get it on certain things. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why people are saying this. I understand. But you watch other people who are told by millions of viewers, right? Like it's not like you have one person telling you. You have a collective group of it's like in a clinical study, the power is high here.
Right.
And they're all saying
Totally.
something and you're still like, I'm right and everybody else on earth is wrong. So I think that's bad. That's somebody who needs to really think about what they're doing and why everyone else seems to have an opinion that's different than their own on their actions. So
Totally.
you learn a lot, but yeah, you're also like, this is going in front of the whole world. So while it is therapy, there are certain things where I'm like, I'm going to tell the truth here because I'm going to, but I can understand why some people probably don't want to be honest about certain things, knowing that it's public. Then you shouldn't have signed up to be here then.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, people say, we all, as viewers, we all have opinions about things, and people will say, oh, well, you don't know and you can't judge and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Obviously, there's a lot that we don't know as viewers. I'm sure a lot is left out. But there are a lot of things that if they weren't happening, we wouldn't be seeing it. Right.
What you're seeing is real. Like there's things that are left out for sure. But for the most part, like the general gist of what you're seeing, if not more than that, it's accurate.
Yeah,
Like, like
I totally believe that. I mean, this is, and that's why I think it can be so great and so helpful. And it's just, I mean, again, like you are there. I mean, I'm curious about like what elements are, more produced and less, but like it's, this is
it's a
really
good question.
happening. This is your lives, and you were really saying these things and doing these things. And if I comment about someone's relationship or something that said something that was unkind or even worse, right? Like people are like, oh, you don't know and you don't know them, and I'm like, we're seeing this happen right here. What do you mean? This is
Yeah.
this is I'm not hallucinating this, right? Like,
And no one's words are changed. There's no AI. Like it's all things
right.
that you said. And I will say, I am most impressed by production. They do such a good job of editing so much footage
I
into
bet.
small bits that still represent what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't change the story. If anything, they changed things to help people a little bit. Like someone said something super mean and it was cut out. It was like, people got the idea. We don't need to hear another person being insulted so loudly on national television, things like that. But production does a really good job. That's why it's kind of like, oh, some people were saying the show was boring or this. And I'm like, you're just watching what happened. Like maybe it was a little boring. I was a little bored in a couple of episodes, not going to lie. I'm on the show. But like you were just watching what happens when 12 people who relatively know each other and are friends, or 14 people, film together and have events together, and just like any
Totally.
other friend group, what would happen. So
Totally. And
and
yeah, well, that's what I love about it so much, right? Like, I mean, especially shows like Summer House and In the City and like The Valley, it's like it's not like, I like shows like, Love is Blind or, that too, but that is a contrived scenario where you are signing up for a certain experiment. This is like, let me film you living
living.
your life.
Yep.
And so that to me is what makes it so compelling. And people are like, oh, this is so boring. I'm like, this is life. This is like what people go through. This is friendships, this is relationships, this is kids, this is
Yep.
co-parenting, this is divorce, right? I mean, all these things, this is, this is so fascinating to me. It's fascinating. I mean, I have my own lens of things, but I just think that that's what it is. That's what it's about.
But yeah, I just wish people got to see more. My building didn't allow filming in my apartment, which I guess nobody actually, you're the first person I'm telling
Interesting.
that to. A lot of people were asking why. Um, so like my life was never really, you couldn't do it. Like
Got it.
it's also like, I would tell them, I would joke, I was like, you guys are lucky. You'd have to be here at 6 a.m. if you wanted to see when my 5:30,
Totally.
when you want to see when my show starts.
Totally.
um,
Totally.
so
Yeah.
I would joke with them, you have to put like the summer house surveillance cameras up in my apartment if you really want to see what life with children is like. No
Totally, to
kid is
see your
gonna act
kids.
normal with a camera there.
Oh,
Like
right.
it's just and also
I would
you're
love
not
to
gonna
see
be
that.
oh, it's so funny. What happens in my house, I always think in my head, I'm like, if anybody witnessed this, it would be pure comedy. I had a food poisoning yesterday, which is
Oh
why I look
no,
like this today.
you
It was
look
awful.
amazing.
I've never had food poisoning before, but it's the most painful, like you're unwell. Um, um, but I was sitting on the toilet, it's disgusting, and I was throwing up at the same time. And my
Oh
daughter was throwing her shoes into the vomit garbage as I threw up, laughing. She's a psychopath terrorist. And my son is looking behind my butt into the toilet, asking me, Mommy, what did you eat that was so bad? I'm
no.
sitting there like, I can't believe this is my life right now, and I still have to parent them, you know? Like this is what happens.
Totally. Mom
But
life.
hopefully next season we figured out a way that they can probably get a little bit more of mom life in.
That would be
Um,
amazing. I would love that. I mean, you know, part of for me as also a single mom, like what is so compelling about watching you and Lindsay, like I just thought it was so important to show that and so much of and like I love the show because it and The Valley really are kind of the only shows that show really like this age demographic where you're dealing with, you know, young kids, right? Marriage, co-parenting, divorce, right? A lot of other shows are younger or older, and so this is like a missed demographic, and I think it's so important. So I would love to see more of your mom life. And if I had food poisoning with that situation, my son would be. It would be a scene. It would be such a scene.
it's so funny. Boys are my son. I'm sure yours is. How old is your son?
He'll be 7 in a few weeks.
The love of your life. There's like
Oh my
no one who
God.
loves you like your boy.
Obsessed.
Um, he was crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm so obsessed with him. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna feel like in another year. I'm just gonna like quit everything and just hang out with you all day. Um, my daughter, on the other hand, is an actual terrorist. I think she might be Unabomber 2.0. She's this evil, maniacal, psychopath girl. Like, I love it for her, but she's another level of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a little Muppet manipulative. I hate using
Oh,
that word about women, or she's a little girl, I'm allowed. She's insane. It's so funny. But yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, you know, like day starts out, they're up. They still take whole milk bottles in the morning, then breakfast, then work. When everyone's like, oh, she has a nanny. I'm like, yeah, when my nanny shows up, I'm already dressed and
yeah.
I sprint out the door. And then I run all day. Everyone's like, how are you in shape? And then she takes them to school and then I block out an hour of my day to pick them up from school and take them to our little shared play space, this place called Cocoon. It's like a indoor playground for kids here. Play with
Nice.
them. Then the nanny comes, she has a break, and then I go back to the office running to my patient, work for 3 more hours, and then I run home so that I could feed them dinner and do bedtime and bath time and put them to bed. She's not there for any of that. She's only there when I'm working because I have to work to feed them. And
Totally. That's
so
so that yeah, no, that's so much. I mean, working single mom life is
it's hard.
wild.
It's also like when you're with your son, when I'm with my kids, it's just me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Like, even if the other parent isn't a good parent or whatever it is, like, it's still another adult who's physically there.
Totally.
Like, that is, Lindsay and I joke all the time because she'll come over with Gemma and I'm like, we're making it 3. And she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, just having another adult, just
For
something about
sure.
having another adult there makes it easier.
So much
Everyone thinks
easier.
like, someone said something the other day online and I just didn't even respond. I was like, yeah, it would be really nice if my nanny could come over so I could go get my hair and nails done too. I'm like, that's not what I do when my nanny is there. I'm working.
Totally. Or you're working, or I'm
So
sure you're doing something for the house, like you're shopping, you're doing something for them, like, you know, like you're
no, it's not like,
planning their next.
no, and even if, let's pretend let's pretend I have a lot of moms here. I treat moms all day in Tribeca. I'm like, some of them, yeah, tell me like the nanny was there, so they finally got to take a nap. I'm
Totally,
like,
which is of course
I
very
wish I
legit.
could do that. Like,
Yeah.
good for you. You're
Yeah.
allowed. You're allowed to do whatever you like. Anyway, it's
Totally.
not for somebody who doesn't have children to judge,
No,
or anyone
100%.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this, of course, this brings us to the, single mom debate and the room situation and all that happened on the show. And I'm so curious your take on that. And it was for me, it was such an important conversation. And that's how we even connected, because I'm sitting there on my couch, which is also what I do. I don't go out very much. I was thinking when you were saying like, oh, I don't leave my house. Like I guess maybe if I were on a reality show and they paid for my dinners and my makeup, then I would leave. But otherwise, like I'm on the couch watching your show. So thank you. But so I'm on Threads commenting about all of this, and you replied to it and said, I was commenting in support of you because there was a lot of couple privilege happening on the whole show, I think. And this is something that people really don't talk about and are really unaware of. And it's something that's so pervasive in our society. And when I was married, I wasn't aware of it either. Like, it's not something that you really think
Yeah.
about until you're kind of like, your status changes. And then all of a sudden you feel different and there is bias and all this stuff. So I'm just so curious about how all that was for you, but I was totally in support of you and Lindsay having the room. And yeah.
Thank you. Well, for so many reasons. Also, it's also Lindsay. So we'll start with that, I guess. Lindsay, Yvonne, and I are really good friends, and we were in a fight, and we know how to resolve our friendships. We don't need somebody else to give a gesture of some sort. That honestly, like, I wish I could have said this on all of these podcasts, but like looking back, I'm like, that wouldn't have fixed it. Like,
Yeah.
Yvonne is not the kind of person who's just going to be like, I forgive both of you for ruining, which we didn't ruin her wedding, but well, I didn't at least. But Lindsay, I don't know, but like whatever, we're on a show. It's also like that wouldn't have fixed it. So like, who are you to even think that you could fix our friendship in a way
Totally.
that has nothing to do with what happened? So that on its own hasn't been discussed, and I'm like, get over
Hated
yourself,
that.
dude.
I,
Like, yeah,
I,
this is not your place. It's not what's going to help our friendship. He also told us something completely different at paintball. He was like, Lindsay and I are the hosts, so we'll get first dibs on the rooms. Go, which is why we were like, oh, let's go get our room. And regardless, like, so yeah, looking back on it, would it have been nice to give Yvonne the room? Absolutely, but like, I was also like, it was a non-issue. Like the way you saw Lindsay and I kind of just keep going. You're like, yeah, we're taking this room. Lindsay continued to put out the baskets because it was just like in our heads, we were like, this is stupid. Like, this is
yeah.
fine. We're already in there. We're not going to share. I actually wanted the twin bedroom at one point when I was looking for rooms because I knew then I could have my own bed. But if we had taken that room, Amanda and Kyle would have had to share a bed.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
wasn't going to do that for Amanda because at that point we were still Team Amanda. So Lindsay and I were just like, okay, we'll share the king so at least we can sleep.
Yeah, some people said that. Some people
And
were like, if you were a mom getting away from your kid, like away from your kids, would you want just a single room? And I was like, well, wasn't there only one room? And Kyle and Amanda took the one where
all
they didn't
this,
have to touch each other. Yeah.
yeah, they did, the kids' room. And it's also, I think even Kenny, or I don't even know who it was, said something like there were plenty of rooms in the house. I'm like, every room in the house was taken. There were no extra rooms. The cast was there as well as the production
And
team
production. Mm-hmm.
and the filming crew. Like, every bed was taken. There were no
Yeah.
other beds.
Yeah.
And also just like, we're 40-year-old adults, like, who cares?
Like,
So,
yeah. It was so.
we also, 7 of us shared a bathroom. 7
Oh
of
my
us shared that
God.
bathroom. It's not
Oh
like
my God.
Lindsay and I were chill out. Oh my God, because also Kyle's bathroom was the buttocks sits bath. Like, 'cause his butt was like,
Yeah.
so no one wanted to use that one.
That was amusing.
So, yeah, and then it all turned into like, to go, like, that was what shocked me the most. Like, it was such a non-issue, and then I guess it was a bigger issue than we thought. But then to have somebody on the cast, a woman nonetheless, go talk to somebody else and say they pulled the single mom card. First of all, Lindsay said moms. Second of all, it wasn't even really about that as much as it was just like, we have to share a bed and we're not married.
Yeah. It's just like logistics. Like, it just makes sense
Imagine if
because
2
it's a
men.
big bed. Right. Like, it just makes sense because it's a big bed. Well, and also Kenny, just to say one more thing about Kenny and him and his sort of like, oh, we can give this room to that. Like, I feel like he, was sort of people did not like him in the season for a good reason. And I feel like this was just about his own ego. Like, oh, I can fix this thing. I'm going to make this grand gesture and this suggestion. And look at me. I'm a good guy. I'm not a bad guy like you all think I am. I'm a good guy. And so that was way more about him than it was about, like you said, Yvonne and Nick wouldn't have cared. Like, would it have been nice? Like maybe, but it was much more about him, it seemed.
Yeah, they didn't even think of it. And then when he told them, of course they were like, "Oh, that's a nice idea," but it wasn't even on their radar. And also, that's something you communicate. If Kenny had come up to me or Lindsay and said, "Hey, I know your stuff's in here, but why wouldn't it be really nice if we gave this room to Yvonne and Nick since their wedding was so?" Of course, I would have been like, "Great idea, sure." But it was a power move the way it was
Totally.
put out, and it was in the middle of us all unpacking, and I was like, "What is this guy talking about?" Like,
Well, and also it also would have been okay if you were like, actually no, like
yeah.
like we are
Oh, and he's,
moms, like
oh,
we have this big bed where we're not going to cuddle. Like they had their wedding, like this was like their fifth wedding celebration. I don't know. The
you're
idea,
right. You're
you know,
right. See, there it is. You're right. And meanwhile, you're right. I probably would have said it. Good idea. It's fine. But should I have? Absolutely not. I'm glad I didn't. But
I'm glad you
in it,
didn't too. I think this is
yeah,
such an important this whole thing opened up such an important conversation about mom cards,
single
single mom
people.
cards,
Yeah.
having kid like commenting on
Oh, yes. We're single moms. I'm sick of hearing that I'm not a single mom because there's a dad involved in the kid's life and I have a nanny. Like, I am single and I am a mother.
totally.
Therefore, I am a single mother.
Yeah.
When I am with my children, parenting them, it is just me. So that makes me a single mom. And if that were 100% of the time, 50% of the time, 20% of the time, it doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah.
still a single mom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I completely appreciate the fact that I have it much, much easier than a lot of single moms. Um, it doesn't, it's not a competition of who
Exactly.
has it harder or who has it. Honestly, like, I wish I could just like buy a humongous house in New York City and offer a room to every single mom in New York so we could all just live together and help each other out.
Totally. Totally.
Um,
The
I'm
dream.
just sick of the whole, yeah, momunes. It's a thing. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's a momune. It's where moms who have kids or not, just single moms, or kids, my moms have kids. We find an apartment and we all live together instead of finding like a male partner or
I love
a
that.
romantic partner. Yeah, I found an apartment in New York that has a laundry room of its own. Like
Amazing.
an actual laundry room with 3 washers and 3 dryers. And if you split it among 7 women, it's actually quite affordable. So
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
let's do it.
I mean,
Um,
we are not meant, I mean, this is a thing like the village, like we are built to raise kids in a community. And even if you were not a single mom, even if you had a partner, like it's still hard the way our society is set up to raise kids. It's still really difficult. And then, a single mom on top of that, like it's not a competition of who has it hard. Parenthood is hard. Motherhood is hard, no
yeah,
matter
mother.
what.
So because of our society makes it even harder.
Yes.
Actually, what's I think single moms have a really nice opportunity to point out is, yes, my kid's dad is involved in their lives. So like the school portal, for example, we had to do like the health forms and all this stuff for the kids to start school in the fall. And I got an email that it was overdue because I did it last year, all of it. So I just, in my head, I was like, okay, he'll do it this year, which I should have communicated. But of course he did it. And then I messaged him. I was like, are you going to do these? He was like, no, I thought you were doing them. You did them last year. I'm like, of course he thought I was doing them. Of course, there's a book we have to fill out with all pictures. I did both kids' books, like the lunches, the lunch boxes, the shoes, every new size that comes. Like I do all of that. And I would be doing it whether or not I had a husband or not. Like
Yeah.
I've been there. I've
Yeah.
been in, I had one kid while I had a partner, and then I have the second kid, now 2 kids without one. So I've seen the difference. Honestly, not much changed, if we're being completely honest.
Totally.
Moms do all of it, and we're expected to. It's like, it's a failure if we don't. Meanwhile, if they do it, if a man does it, it's like, oh my gosh,
Totally.
wow, what a great
Medal.
dad.
You get a medal. Yeah, for sure.
And
All the dads that
you're
drop
worth
off or
it.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, the dad. Oh my gosh, I'm just like, I love when the dad's like, oh, I'm watching the kids, so my wife can do this. I'm like, no, 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 you're the parent. You're
Yeah.
parenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what you're doing. You're not babysitting. You can't babysit your own children.
Totally. Yeah.
So it's just the whole single mom thing. I'm just like, and then to keep going about having help, it's just like,
It's
anybody who could afford help wants help.
Yeah.
Uh,
You,
Anybody who wants help, everybody wants help. Like,
of
why
course.
would I not? And also, I need to work.
And you need to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and your kids are young. They're not in school. Wait, so your oldest is he is in school, your older one?
So he's 3.5, so he's in
Okay.
preschool. And my
Okay.
youngest is my daughter, who's 2 now, will start in the fall because she's
Okay.
starting a twos program, and they'll be together.
Okay. Great.
Um, I have to pick them up, or I try to. I say I have to. I want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping them in a half day so that the two of them are in the same time, so I can drop them off and then get them together. But no, she wasn't in school last year. So when I'm at work and he's in school for 3 hours, like I need a nanny there.
Right.
I
Right.
would
Totally.
love to stay home with the kids and hang out with them. I mean, it's hard, but I miss them.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
can't.
Right.
I have to work,
Yeah, and
like
that's the
most
other
people.
thing. Yeah, I mean, I think this whole single mom debate, people will say, well, if, hardest is having them full time and you being the only one. And yeah, I'm sure that that is really hard, but it's just trade-offs. Co-parenting is also difficult. Saying bye to them is also difficult.
It's
Missing
horrible.
them, I mean, it's hard either way. And this competition of who has it harder is just not doing anyone any favors. And it's,
Oh, and
yeah,
everyone's different.
yeah.
I was on Reddit the other day, even though I told myself I never would, and somebody wrote something like, someone made a post because I go to my ex's house for bedtime and bath time, even on the nights I don't have the kids, because they want me there,
Mhm.
and I want to see them, and he's okay with it, which I'm so grateful for.
Totally.
And someone wrote something like it was me trying to get back into his life, like the
Oh my
ex.
God.
Like, oh my God, it's despite that. Like,
It
I wish
totally
you weren't there when I was doing it. Like
right.
that, like, and second of all, it's for them. No, and then someone wrote, "This is not sustainable for her." I'm like, you're right, it's not. I need to figure out a mental way to cope with the fact that I can't put them to bed every night. Fine. And then someone else wrote, who was a single parent. She wrote a co-parent. She wrote single parent who co-parents. I love the nights when my kids were with my ex because I got time to just watch TV and chill and relax. And I was like, I would love to get there. And some people do. Some people are happy with that, and some people aren't. Some people are like me, who are like miserable when the kids aren't with them. So we're all different, and the way we manage it is our choice.
Totally.
But I just like those are three different responses that were completely all over the place and from people who are single parents. So it's like maybe we just take a step back and see that we're all individuals who are trying our very best here.
Totally. And what works for someone might not work for someone else, and that's fine. It just is so there's no, I mean, it's just the right way to do it is what works, and that could change over time or it could not. And, it's some people go on vacation together, some people only communicate via parenting apps, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's like a whole
yeah,
spectrum and you just never know how things are going to go and how things are going to change
yeah.
and
It was never anyone's first choice. It's like,
exactly.
listen, if you did it on your own completely from the beginning, obviously it was that's a different situation, and you're still a single parent. If you decided to have a kid completely alone, but somebody who started out with a partner ended up without one. That wasn't choice number one. That you weren't like, I can't wait to break up with this person, so I have
Right.
to raise kids. Like
Totally. Yeah, of
was
course.
always it was at least your second choice, if not more. I mean, I tried to get back together with him for a year after he asked me to not like after we disagreed on having our second child. Like for the first year of her life, we lived in the same building and
Okay.
went to therapy and tried to figure it out. Like I would have done anything to get back together. Meanwhile, this is the person who moved out on me when I was pregnant, right?
That's
So
so
like
hard. Yeah.
it's so hard and it's really hard to have a toddler and be pregnant and be alone, and everyone forgets this. Like we're humans. Like
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
heartbroken.
I
It was the
bet.
love of my life. I
Yeah,
loved him.
totally.
Like
Yeah.
I was heartbroken during all of that too. So a lot of people were like pathetic. She thought about getting back together with him. I'm like, why? Like it's the kid's dad. Yeah. Now looking back on it, definitely was not the right thing, but I had to try.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
you
did.
mentioned, yeah, on the show that, you tried, that you really wanted to try to make it work. And yeah, it's not anyone's first choice. And I see lots of clients who, they just say, well, I don't want to get divorced. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course you don't. No one wants to. No one is being like, yeah, that looks great,
It's
but
exactly right.
like sign me up for that, but it's oftentimes it's, the best outcome ultimately, and you do what you can to make it work and make it amicable and be present and regulated for your kids, and it's really hard. And so when you're on a show with somebody who says, oh, she's always playing the single mom card, right? Like, even if that was about Lindsay, it wasn't about you, but still I imagine that it just is like
It hit me.
I'm sure.
It
I
also,
mean,
Lexi told me it was about me, and when she came back, she was like, she said it about you and Lindsay. Looking
oh
back, I
yeah.
was like, I was never involved here. But
Right,
then
right,
I said
right.
it to one of my professionals and it didn't make it in. They were like, well, Lexi said it, but if she hadn't, would you still have gotten involved? I'm like, yeah. If she
Totally.
had just said it about Lindsay, and it's not because I'm a minion, it's because I, I, yeah, we're going to talk about the minion thing. But I was just like, she, she dug in on help and moms and now they're making this whole narrative where like, oh yeah, I said Whitney and Kenny hate mothers. I was like, I never said that. You're saying that I said that to make it sound ridiculous to get away with it. Like,
Mhm.
never once looked at you guys and said you hate mothers
Mhm.
ever.
Mhm.
I talked
Mhm.
about misogyny, which is a different situation, and
Yes.
like they're going on this whole narrative that I stormed off saying Whitney hates mothers and women. I'm like, no, didn't say that, never said that, but sure, you can make it sound ridiculous so that you can ignore it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, it's disgusting.
But I
So
think
yeah,
that they might. I mean, I think that when I was watching that, I was like, so, I was at that campfire scene. I was so glad you said something and called it out, because it is so incredibly misogynistic, all of it. I mean, Kenny is just incredibly misogynistic, and
she doesn't think so. So
yeah, well,
I mean, I agree with you. I definitely think that as a couple, the way that they see and treat and talk to women is just not okay. Um, and I also see how they don't see it. So it's hard to have that conversation because, yeah, when you hang out with Kenny, like, he's very charming and Whitney's sweet, and you hang out with him and you're like, these people are great. And then you kind of like start to watch, especially on a show, and pick up on like these little comments. Um, like the telling Lindsay that I'm getting I hate men vibes because she asked him about moving her across the country. I'm like, the normal response would have been, yeah, I'm so happy she's here. Like,
yeah,
done. End of conversation. Oh, without the ring, he's like, oh, I would be so lucky to get engaged to her one day. I
yeah,
would be so lucky. Like,
yeah.
I I've been there. Like, that's what somebody who loves you says.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
No, well,
just like,
he doesn't I think that he doesn't wanna be with her. I think that he doesn't really wanna get married. I think he's, I think he's really, yeah. I don't know if I mean, I
well,
guess I
they're
could
in it
say
now. They're in
what
it now because he said he's going to marry her. It's also like his defense is like, I've been in an 11-year relationship. I've been in an 8-year relationship. I'm like, yeah, and you didn't get married in either of them. So, like, how is that a defense? I don't
totally.
understand.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's
And
not.
And now I feel like he thinks like that there's been all this talk around it, so he's got to do it to like prove. And this gets to what I say a lot of the time, which is like the way marriage is just treated in our society as the goal and the be all end all, right? So like they'll get married and then everyone will be like, "See, they're fine," but like they're not fine
No,
because
right.
she
I
moved across the
agree.
country. She moved across the country. He was not grateful for it. This whole spark thing was not made up. It was
Well,
not
yeah,
taken
that
out of context.
he said it.
He said
He
it.
watched it, and then she called him out at the dinner, and he said, "Well, I did say that." He admitted it, and she just sat there quietly until he said something she wanted to hear.
Yeah,
Did you notice
exactly.
that?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
he was like,
Yes.
"Well, I might have said this," and she just that was her reaction, and then he went on to like add qualifiers, in which case she was like, "See, yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my God, Whitney, he actually admitted to you. Like, he just said it
Yes.
to your face."
He just said it. And when she started talking about, well, what is our future and da da da, he just brought it back to his mom and all his trauma and totally deflected and did not answer the question. And of course she's going to be like, "Oh yeah, I know, it's such a hard time," so it was
Yeah,
super
like any person
manipulative.
will. Very manipulative. That's the thing I'm having a difficult time even now kind of digesting or figuring out. Like, her reactions, I don't think she's intentionally necessarily doing a lot of what she does. I think
No.
a lot of it is manipulation. Um, I even think what she said about the moms might have been coming from him and not her. Listen, she said it and defended it, but Whitney is she is a sweet girl, like a
Yeah, I
sweet
believe it.
woman. Like when you
Yeah.
say, and I internalized misogyny is also a thing. Like um, females being a lot of women being male centered is a thing that happens to you. It's not even something that you are born doing, you know, and
Totally.
it's our society. And I'm sure you know a lot more about this than I do. It's just there is saving to be had there.
Yes.
um, so that's why on the reunion, everyone like flipped out on me and hates me now because I'm a bully. But I was like, Winnie, I would much rather hear that you're here for the television show than that you're here for him. And I
Totally.
mean that. I meant it. I was not
Totally.
because I'm calling her a gold digger. I'm not. I was just saying that would be the better of the two options.
Totally.
To say you moved here to be on TV and advance your career would be a better thing than to say you moved here for this guy who has every red flag I think I've ever seen in a man.
Totally. So many,
Does that make sense?
so many red flags. Yes, totally. And she doesn't, because she just, yeah, she wants to be picked. She wants to be chosen. He's the charming, attractive guy and he's choosing her. Right. And so, like, that makes her feel special. And, but it's just really, it's really manipulative. It's really hard to watch. Like,
It's like, look at what West is doing to Amanda. I know Amanda made her own choices and she ruined a friendship and it's awful. He, West has absolutely made her feel like the chosen one.
yeah,
You know,
totally.
that never ends well.
I mean, I just, I think that Whitney, I think Kenny is really taking advantage of the fact that Whitney wants to get married, wants to have a kids. Like, he is just, sort of preying on that. And it's not really what he wants. Like, his also his joke about like the closet or like, when he picked up those balls and we're like, what the fuck is it? Like, it's really not welcoming. I mean, she picked up her whole life for him. I'm so curious about their conversations. Like, we'll never know, but like about her moving and what that was like and who initiated this. And it just is, he has every red flag. And he was flirting with Lindsay. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
so that's something I think like a lot. What I think was fascinating was to watch his, not even the flirting with Lindsay, and that we'll get, but when they had their meal together and they talked about their parents.
I love that.
Yeah, I loved it. And the dynamic, the way that they bantered a little and they had a real conversation. I watched that and I was just like, I've never seen him have a conversation like that with his own girlfriend. Like
Interesting. Yeah.
they don't have that, like, I don't know how to put it, but it was like he was alive in a way more. Like it was like he listened
Totally.
to somebody else. It was just, and then yeah, there's definitely I think some flirting there. Like when he told her she looked good in that dress on the reunion, the yellow
Oh,
dress.
yeah.
I
I
was like,
clocked
oh,
that. I clocked that immediately. And you can see when you look at him, like you see her face.
face like this is something they've talked about. And then
Yeah.
at the Thanksgiving dinner when she said she liked the dark meat or something and he was
Yeah.
like, whoa now, and she just laughed back. That was a flirting move. I wouldn't
He
like it if my boyfriend said that to
Oh
somebody.
no. He said, he was like, my girlfriend's right there. Like he
Yeah,
said, don't flirt with me, my girlfriend's right there. My jaw dropped. Like I was like, my jaw dropped. I mean, it's so disrespectful, but your point is so true. Like the energy between them and how it's not there with, I always say, I tell my clients this all the time, right? It's all about the fit, and like people can be not a bad person, but it's just not a fit. And with Kyle and Amanda, I mean, I have talked on my podcast for hours about them, but there were scenes where, Kyle was away, one of them wasn't at the house, whatever, and they each were alive and bubbly and fun. And even
and
Amanda laughed sometimes, like
yeah, yeah.
she, but she was not like that in that terrible relationship. So but I think, yeah, like you're right.
Poorly
It's,
suited for each other
yeah,
in their case.
totally.
And in Whitney and Kenny's case, I do think I don't like when people call her boring. I think that's disrespectful to any woman, but I do think there's like a different level of just, I don't know, maybe the word is spark. I don't know. It's funny that that's what we use to describe it because it does seem like there is a lack of a spark, you know?
Totally.
And it might just be with each other, but it's definitely evident. even when you watch the show, it's evident. And
Totally.
that sucks. But I agree with you in the sense that he was called out on it. I think now because of that, they'll get married. That's their season two. And then their season three is breaking up with each other. And then if there is a season three, like I could see it because that's what somebody who's that dead set on proving themselves right does,
But
for
sometimes
better
it's
or
so
worse.
long until they break. I mean, they could get married. They could be married for 10 years. They could have kids, you know, like they could, you know, it's like, who knows, right? Who knows how long it,
And,
you know,
and I hope I'm wrong. I'm just going to preface it with like, I really wish I were wrong. Being wrong would be really good here because that would
totally.
mean that I'm wrong with all of this and that they are happy and they're going to be happy and I want people to be happy. But I don't think I'm wrong. Obviously, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be sad if I did. I wish I were.
totally. I agree with you for sure. I mean, you know, people, it sounds a bit cynical. It's not cynical. It's just like, it's just what we're seeing. And, you know, you have experience, like, you know what it's like to be married and divorced. And like, I know what it's like. And I see clients all the time, you know, and I'm sure you talk to people. I mean, you know, you like, people talk to you. I'm sure your patients talk to you about their kids and their relationships. I'm sure you know a
All the
lot.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
we're
course.
all
I mean,
family here.
yeah, of course. Like, you know, I'm a mom who gets Botox. Like, I talk to my dermatologist about her kids and you know, I mean, so like you know, it's like you see the red flags. It's not looking at things negatively. It's not cynical. It's just like you just have a
Yeah,
perspective.
like Owen saw it at that dinner with Kyle and Amanda. I love that he said, "I've been where you are. Like
Yeah,
it's over. Like
totally. Yeah, that was I love
intense."
that. I loved that too. That was probably the only moment that I liked him this season. But that, yes, yeah.
So one thing I will say about Owen, watching it, I'm like confused. Actually, at the reunion during the break, there's like a 5 minute break where you can pee. Um, Yvonne and I were laughing because we were like, Owen has gone absolutely crazy today. Like his everything about him, we were like laughing because we were like, is is he having a mental breakdown?
Oh my God, sorry, I'm
Because
laughing now. That's
like we were still texting about it sometimes. We were like, crazy Owen came out of the reunion because like that's not how he was the whole season. He was actually really nice and sweet. And like there
really
was a scene they cut out or they didn't catch on camera of me talking to Danielle at the cider place where I was like, Danielle, you really seem so safe and like light and happy. And I think that's where Lindsay kind of picked up on it as I talked to Lindsay, because Lindsay and Danielle have their stuff and everyone doesn't realize, but I do disagree with Lindsay. I think Danielle was really sweet to me and I I didn't know her that well, and out of all the newbies on the show, or the veterans on the show, she like really was kind and she seemed safe and happy and secure. And I was like, I think this is because you're in the right relationship now, and I'm really happy for you. And then all of a sudden at the reunion, we were like, what's happening here?
that's so wild. That's
It was
wild.
wild. So I'm excited to kind of see what happens with his character development, like, or maybe more of him comes out. But that was one time where I was just like, this doesn't fit. Like, this guy
Interesting.
was, he was fine. He was
Hmm,
normal. Like, he was,
interesting.
like, he made a comment at Lindsay at the dinner that I didn't pick up until I watched it. And I was like, oh, that's a little weird. I think he called Lindsay a bitch or something.
Yeah, he called Lindsay a bitch at dinner, and I just men who talk like that about women.
That I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
So I'm another thing you learn when you watch people, right? Like I learned a lot more about him watching it than I did when I was living it. But living it, maybe again, we all have blind spots. I was
totally.
just like, this is a great guy. Like he was wonderful. He helped me with
Interesting.
the puzzle. I was obsessed with that puzzle.
The
Um,
puzzle. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love the cuts to you guys doing the puzzle. That was so great.
and there were missing pieces. We realized at the end.
Oh my
It
God,
was so sad.
infuriating.
But yeah, that was surprising. But yeah, I've never had anyone or allowed anybody to talk to me that way.
That was
Um,
wild. I mean, at the dinner, I also like, I didn't like how he was so closed off about his situation. Like, it is totally reasonable for Lindsay to be like, "Who is this guy? What's his deal?" Like the
but yeah, I
boy, you
Google
know,
everything.
and
I
like,
stalk
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Well, and I loved at the reunion. She was like, "I will never not Google my friends' boyfriends." Like
Yeah,
that's, you know, and so so the fact that he was so closed off about it. I mean, I think, you know, I mean, I talk to my clients about dating during separation and divorce, and I think it's complicated. There's like a lot to say about it, but like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but he was shady about it. Danielle was wanting things to move faster, and like he wasn't, I mean, it's just you're not in a place. You're just not in a place. Like, I mean, he doesn't have kids, so it actually makes things less complicated, certainly, but it's still complicated. It's still a divorce. It's still like, you gotta take a beat. And I think dating is great. Like you learn a whole lot about yourself. And, I'm curious if about your dating life and what but like but in terms of like, they had a baby. And I mean, of course, like I would never, I wish that, I hope that everything is great with
I
Aiden
talk
and,
I message them a lot. I'm seeing Danielle tonight actually at
oh,
one of
great.
Yvonne's things. Yeah. They are good.
Good. That's good.
Um,
I mean,
he's
10 weeks
very
early. Oh my
happy.
gosh.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how early that is.
Terrifying. Well, at the reunion when Andy was just saying hi to everyone, and she was like, "Oh, we're due Labor Day." I was like, "Wait." I was like, "This is so early." Like he'd already been in the NICU.
Hello.
Oh,
And it's terrifying enough to be like, is my baby going to live? Like
oh
that,
my
it's
God.
early enough to worry about that.
Totally.
It's 30 weeks. Like it's early.
So early.
So but he's so cute and they're good. Um, I FaceTime them, but they didn't answer actually. I talked to both of them on speaker a couple of times. Just the way he was like in the background saying like, do you need this or do you need that? Like he's being very attentive.
That's good.
Um, it's good. It's funny because I notice these things because like my first pregnancy, I had somebody doing that, and then with the second, it wasn't right. So it's like
So hard.
so funny. Like with my second though, it was so nice. The second night I was there, I sent the baby up to the nursery and told them to keep her till the morning. And the nurse looked at me. I'm like, yeah, 8 a.m. is fine. And then I told my parents, and nobody could visit me, and I just went to sleep.
Amazing.
I
Amazing.
was, it was and no one was there. There wasn't anyone complaining about sleeping on the couch. It was just like, oh, this is so nice. I could stay here a whole week. But yeah, they're doing great. I'm
That's great.
excited to see her tonight. But again,
That's so great.
I've watched Summer House, not all of it. So I didn't have any preconceived notions of Danielle other than what Lindsay kind of told me. So I was a little wary. And then as I got to know her, I really do love her. Like she's really been a great friend to me.
Yeah.
And what I've experienced with Owen, this is contrary to everybody's opinion. Real life versus watching him on the show were very different. So that, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, that alerts me to like, hey, I need to like look at my perspective, see if I'm missing something, be open-minded, and thousands of viewers aren't wrong, right?
Totally.
So that's my take on him, kind of with what comes next.
Interesting. Well, it's great to hear that he's supportive. I mean, I cannot imagine that situation. Like, oh my God,
Oh my gosh, with oh my God, if I had, oh my God, I don't know what I would have done.
my heart just goes out to them. And I just, but you have to have such a solid relationship to survive. I mean, to like, obviously, like you experience, I mean, to even have like a healthy pregnancy, healthy birth, healthy baby, it's hard enough, right? And if something isn't going, it's such a hard time. I have lots of, it's such a hard time. And this is also why, like, things these kinds of conversations, and I hopefully like season 2, maybe we'll see some of it. Just the postpartum period is like it's so hard. Again,
Hard.
even in like the best case scenario, I mean, I talk about like Kristen and Luke on the Valley with all that. Like, I mean, but anyway, it's just I'm glad to hear that Owen is supportive of her because
And
it's
he's being great.
I'm sure I mean, yeah, I know she wanted a baby so bad. And I didn't, honest, the truth is I didn't love her on Summer House, but I can see why I can see her being a really loyal friend. And I liked the conversations that she had with Lindsay, and kind of like, like she grew
Fresh
on me a
start.
little bit. She grew on me a little and on In the City, just in terms of like, I could see the friendship more. Um, yeah,
We have a complicated history, Lindsay and Danielle. It's also just like I obviously could go into a relationship with Danielle knowing everything with Lindsay and being like, well, this person sucks. But I also have to remember they have their relationship and their history, and I don't. I'm not Lindsay. I'm meeting this person really for the first time one on one, and I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Um, Women deserve that. Everybody deserves that. So maybe it's naive of me because obviously that seems to be what Lindsay did over and over and over again and got burned each time. But so far so good.
It
So,
yeah,
and she's a mom now.
totally.
I'm excited she's coming out tonight. I'm like, this is great. We're
Oh, that's
having
great.
like a dinner, and I'll be there, and Katie DeLuca will be there.
Okay.
So I'll get
Amanda's
some
friend. Yeah,
Amanda's friend. Katie's opened up about having a difficult time getting pregnant. She put up a really raw video of how she's feeling being surrounded by pregnant women,
I bet that's
after
so
having
hard.
had a few miscarriages. So, I don't ever talk to Katie about Amanda. I met Katie now. This is like the first time I've really met her during the show. But I'm sure she'll give us some updates tonight because at the end of the day, tea does spill.
For sure. Totally. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Danielle's doing fine. Postpartum is one of the hardest points in your life, and you don't even know it. You're in it, and you're like, "I'm fine, I'm good," and then you realize afterwards, you're like, "Oh my God, I was
Oh
so
yeah.
not fine."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was not fine. Yeah.
I was,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
it
really
was
hard.
so hard.
Yeah.
And there's so much debate about how long it lasts. I'm like, it lasts forever.
Forever. I mean, it just is,
But
there's no, your life is forever changed. Your life has changed forever. There is no, there's just a new normal. I mean, it's all kinds, it's amazing. It's hard, it's all kinds of things, but it's just, there's no back. You can't go back.
yeah,
It doesn't work
you're
like
there.
that. Yeah.
That's why again, the mom comments really pissed me off. It's also like Whitney and I had a lunch that also didn't make it onto air, where I tried to kind of get to know her, and she talked to me about how all of her friends are having kids and getting married, and she feels like she's missing the boat. And I remember being like, Whitney, you're 35, you're a spring chicken in New York, you're
Totally.
fine. And I remember saying, like, the relationship matters. I wish my relationship worked out. Like, the relationship matters so much. Like, if you can nail that, then having kids is easier for you. Like,
Totally.
it's better for you.
Yeah.
I remember saying that. Um, so then to have said that to her and then still have her make those comments, I'm just like, dude, like
This was before all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
this was like during our filming. Probably was 3 or 4 weeks in, not even 2 weeks in. And I told her everything about how my relationship fell apart and why, and how hard it is.
And she
We
still
talked about
said that.
that's why it kind of caught me. Everyone's like what came out of nowhere. I'm like, no, this person knew what I've been through. And and we talked about dating. She actually told me to date intentionally, which I really liked that phrase. I was like, I never heard that before. And Lindsay's kind of just like, oh, I'm having fun. And I'm like, if I'm going to date, I'm not wasting a night I could have with my kids on
Totally.
like a stranger who I'm never going to see again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it was a meaningful lunch, I will say. So I'm maybe more disappointed in her tripling down on everything after that, which again leads me back to the whole thing where I don't think it was necessarily coming from her.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
I
she's
think,
like it's the Kool-Aid. I mean, it's just, the Kool-Aid of the world we live in where that's what you're supposed to do, and she's in it and she can't see that the red flags because she's focused on the end goal of marriage and babies, but yeah, who you choose to do that with is more important than the actual thing.
yeah, it is. It really is. I say that as somebody who it didn't work out, right? It is
Yep.
paramount.
Yep.
The relationship matters the most. Uh, so willingly doing it with someone you know is wrong, that's really bad. Like, at least I really thought we were right.
Yeah,
Like, we
totally.
really, like, we were
Yeah.
committed.
Yeah.
Doing it with somebody where you're not sure, it's like, that's really not.
Yeah.
Unless you don't care if it works out or not, that's different.
Well,
But
I think a lot of people hope that it will change, right? Or they just, oh, this isn't a big deal, or this will, once we get married, this will change, and people just,
yeah, people show you who they are. You should
yep,
just believe them.
yep, yep, yep,
um,
yep.
that's my takeaway from everything I've been through. It's like this guy moved out when I had a broken ankle and I was 7.5 months pregnant and we had a 1-year-old and a dog and it was snowing.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he still moved out,
Yeah,
So in my head, I'm just like, nothing could change that, like you
totally.
chose to do that.
Right. You
And you
did
did
that.
and it's
Yeah.
like we were in a bad place. I'm like, yeah, but that made it worse.
Right.
And
Right.
and you could have talked to me about it. I don't know, but doing that to somebody is just bad. That there's
Yeah.
no justifying it. So every time I try to think in my head, like, what could I have done differently? And there were lots of things, but that was that was a big blow to me. I
That's
felt
so
so abandoned,
painful.
and it's obviously going to spill over into my dating in the future, which I'm already aware of.
Totally.
So, gotta
Well,
help everybody.
it's yeah, 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 you learn to be so protective, right, of you and your time and your kids and your energy, and, you just they have so much of
That's
your
right. You're so
energy
insightful.
and
Your energy. That's so insightful. That's something I recently started saying. Like, I only have so much energy.
totally.
And I never thought about it that way until probably a few months ago when I was like, I need to conserve energy. Like, I love that you said that. Very few people ever say that. It matters. It's a real thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so that's why I haven't really dated because I don't really want to, but I think I need to now.
Why?
Um,
Why do you think you need to?
I don't know. Everyone's telling me maybe that's a bad idea. I don't, like, honestly, I would probably be happy never dating ever again. I know that sounds terrible,
No, it
but
doesn't.
everyone, yeah, I don't really want to. Like, I just don't. I have no interest whatsoever. Everyone,
Oh,
I'm like,
then
what is it going to bring me? And everyone's like, love. I'm like, I don't really need that right now. I have love.
yeah.
I have my kids and my best friends. I love my friends and I'm good, you know?
Totally.
So,
Yeah. I mean, that's, people like love happy ending. I mean, this is the thing. You, a single pair, like we single people like make married people uncomfortable. They talk about this in Sex and the City, like the Cold War between marrieds and singles, right? Like I reference that show all the time. Obviously, much of it does not age well, but some of it does.
yeah,
And
you're right. It does make people uncomfortable, very much.
it makes people
Men and
uncomfortable.
women. It's weird.
for
It's
for
really
many
weird.
different reasons. I think there are many different reasons why it makes people uncomfortable. So people are like, "Oh, you should date. You should get, because it's their own stuff." Like if you were saying, "Oh, I would love to find someone. I want to go out. I want to go on dates. I want to meet people." That would be a totally different story. But if you're like, "I have no desire to do that," then like definitely
No,
don't do
zero.
it.
Like
Oh, then
0% rule.
well, on the reunion, Andy asked you, you said, you wanted to like sort of start intentionally dating. So, I thought I made a note to ask you about it. But like, yeah, if you don't want to, I always tell, because you can't, I always tell my, like the shoulds, right? Like I should do this. I should do like, no, you should. This is what this is the thing. Like Kenny feels like he should marry Whitney because people are telling him to do it. He doesn't really want to. He's just hurting her by doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. At the reunion, I was thinking it because one of my patients had said she had so many people who loved her because both of her parents remarried. So she had like extra people to love her. And I thought that would be nice for my kids. But then when I actually sat down a couple of weeks after that and like thought about going out with somebody, I really don't want to. Like
Yeah,
I'm really happy, knock on wood.
totally.
I have my career, I have my kids. It's hard, but like I don't feel like anything's missing right now, you know?
No, yeah.
So I'm kind of just like meh. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
mean, I would date like a billionaire in a coma with
there.
no
Oh, yeah. So there,
siblings, no kids, no
right.
wife,
Yeah.
no chance of survival. Maybe
Yeah.
that would be this check.
There you go. You and
Great.
Lindsay, you and Lindsay could go. I love on some. You and Lindsay could go and ask who has a yacht. You guys could be here.
Yeah, definitely. Then you know what, you could be as misogynist. I'm just kidding. You can't be misogynistic. But like I would absolutely be open to a billionaire in a coma with no chance of survival and no heirs.
That would be a good
That's
situation.
that I could use $1 billion.
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
Otherwise, I really like. I'm glad to hear this. I feel like I'm getting free therapy right now. I'm sorry. Like this.
No, I talk about this. I talk about this all the time. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I just posted a TikTok about it recently, and I was like, you don't have to date if you don't want to date. Like, I was like, this is the thing that people aren't going to tell you. Like, everybody is like, oh, I should, but like, why? It's so much energy. It's you're missing whatever you're doing. There's always an
You're missing out.
opportunity
Yeah.
cost,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's
I'm missing time with my kids. I'm missing time with my friends. I'm missing time to myself. Like,
exactly like,
yeah,
and who
I'm
knows,
missing
like.
sleep.
Yeah, I mean that might change at some point. You might want, but like, or you might meet someone organically and be interested, and then that's how that happens. But like, if it's not something that you feel like, I mean, you seem to do what you want to do, right? Like, you're a
That's true.
doctor, you have friends, you parent your kids. Like, if you wanted to date, you would date. So I
Yeah,
mean, and also like for your kids, if it's not the right, like if it it's, yes, more loving adults would be great, but it's got to be right for you. It's got to be someone that makes
Yeah,
your very difficult life easier,
yeah,
like you can't make it harder. It's gotta make it easier.
exactly. And that's hard to find. And not that I'm
Totally.
even looking for it. It's just, I get a lot of, like, people really do hate like the couple thing in society. I get a lot of messages and comments saying that I'm just jealous of Whitney because she's in a happy relationship. And like what's really funny is I laughed out loud because I was like, that's actually one thought that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
I am so far removed from like in my head from any sort of relationship wanting that I was like, wait, I had to like give myself a second to understand what they were saying. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I laughed so loud. I was like,
It's hilarious.
that
That
couldn't
is
be
that is
further. I didn't even think of that option. I was like, what? Like
no,
the last thing I'm jealous about right now is anyone in a relationship. I am so happy. There's some parts of co-parenting that do make it easier, or parenting solo that like, you're like, I don't have to run this by anybody right now. Like they get popsicles at night. My kids get a popsicle in the bath because I can't have popsicles around the apartment because I just can't
yeah.
to clean up. So they like, it's so funny when like we pass an ice cream truck, they ask me if they can get an ice cream for the bath. And I'm like, no, honey, you can have an ice cream outside in the park. It's okay. But
That's amazing.
their dad never wanted them to have that. And now I'm like, I have two kids. You're good. Like little things like that become easier. So I'm just like,
Totally.
in my head right now, a relationship, I don't want one. I'm
No.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, then great.
so
That's
I'm not
amazing.
jealous of Whitney and Kenny having a relationship.
That
I'm
is
not jealous of Lindsay when she meets somebody she's this little T she's dating, and there's excitement around somebody right now. It's really early, but like I'm so happy for her, like because she wants
amazing.
that. I'm like giddy for her. Like
Totally.
that's what friends are. Like no, nobody. I've never been jealous of. I'm not jealous of my friends.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
happy for my friend.
This is what I totally, I mean, people think that single people are jealous of that. Like, it's like,
Yvonne
Yvonne,
did that. She said
I
that.
was just going to say that. Yep. Yep.
Oh wow.
I
When
did not
Lindsay and
like
I were
that.
watching that, we were like, what? Excuse me. Like, man, I was like, what is she talking about? We were both so confused. We were like, Lindsay was like, that never even entered my brain. Like,
I did not like that. When they were planning their wedding, when they were having that conversation, when they were getting ready, and Yvonne was like, I know Lindsay wants this. I think I might have posted or something about it. And people were like, oh,
cringe it.
yeah, like people said like, oh, people are just saying that I'm wrong. I'm like, I don't think I'm wrong. Like I doubt Lindsay wants this. Like Lindsay seems good. Like it's just
Reaction was the same as mine to these messages. Her Lindsay was like, what is she talking about? Like,
that's
this makes no sense.
yeah. People just think, because again, people think that marriage is the finish line of life and everybody wants it. And
So
it's like,
wrong. It's so not.
yeah. Well, it's like, do you watch The Valley? Or I won't.
I just started.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't.
Because I met Kristen. I love her in real life. I met her. I met her while we were filming, I think. She was on Watch What Happens Live once, I think right after we finished filming or during. But I had to watch because I just saw this meme of like the coffin thing. And I'm like I was just like, what is that? And
Cannot.
I'm like, what? I need to watch it because I need to watch up to that and have in my head some sort of it being like a joke that wasn't funny.
It was
But if
so
it was
not a
like a
joke.
serious,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's so bad. Well,
That
that's
is,
like
yeah. It's
mean.
terrible.
It's mean.
It's awful. Well, it's just is so it's so stupid. I mean, it's so stupid to the point that is like it's just so stupid. It's dangerously stupid. Like this is an example of like how stupidity can be so dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not
So I have,
necessarily Luke's fault. Like I mean, we're not educated about any of this, right? Like people don't know about postpartum, like we said. Men don't know how to support their partners. Like people just don't know, and so education
you're not,
around this. But you're not
doctors don't even know. We're not
right.
taught it in medical school.
Exactly.
You understand, we are taught to deliver the baby and then OBGYN rotation is done.
Yeah.
Like menopause is not taught in medical school.
That is
so 50% of the population goes through menopause, and I learned there wasn't even a minute about it. It was like, oh, the period stops, the hormones go down, end of lesson.
That is insane. I mean, it's not shocking, but it's horrible that it. Yeah, I mean, that is just.
I'm like, I just joined a whole group in like the Women's Derm Society of how we can start to educate at least derm residents on the changes in the skin that come with menopause. And I like was reading things. I was like, I'm not even educated enough to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know enough. And I'm a doctor who is the top of my class.
Yeah.
who doesn't know about menopause. Like
Crazy. It's
it's
crazy.
it's so representative though. If men went through menopause, we would all know about
Oh
it.
my God. I know. I know.
It's just so representative of how sad society it, women are. It's not equal. We're working our way there, but there's a whole sector of our whole part of our lives that's just not studied
It's
because who
crazy.
cares? We're done having kids, so
And it
who
would
cares?
be, yeah, I mean, people would be like, I was talking about how Luke and Chris, like, everyone's like, oh, they need couples therapy. I'm like, well, maybe, but what that means is education, right? Like they need education around what to expect, on how to support, on like this is life, this is hormones. Like it's not. I mean, therapy sure, like to help communicate better, maybe, or like but like if they
Tools.
just don't know, they don't know, like they don't know because yeah, no one teaches you. It's crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
you have to know. Like I don't even know. Like looking back on how I acted, I mean, I don't even recognize some of the things I thought or said or did, and it's because I wasn't myself. It's because my hormones were insane. I mean, it's it's a real part of life, which is again why I'm like postpartum is such a vulnerable period, more so than even pregnancy. And it's just a time where whoever you're with just needs to support you.
yeah, for sure.
And
Yep.
sometimes, I mean, I say this to people, and I'm not a therapist, and this is bad language. Like sometimes one person just really does have to like eat crow. Like
Yeah,
sometimes it just really sucks for one person in this relationship because
yeah.
that's how it is right now, and it's not forever. And
It's not
postpartum,
forever.
and because guess what? It sucks a lot more for her.
Totally.
She's bleeding and sore and has to know up from down, left from right. She has a human to take care of.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, totally. And it's temporary, and the more you can support in that moment, then the more she will remember how supportive and how
you know,
great you were, and then it comes back later. Like it's just, it's like depositing in the bank of like caretaking. Like it just is,
yeah.
you
Nick is
know.
doing it for Yvonne right now. He sent us a sweet message
Oh,
about
that's
what
great.
he's missing in the hospital bag and then also like what else he could have at home so that when not when the baby comes home, when Yvonne comes home, he
That's
can meet
great.
her needs.
Yes, that's
Oh,
great. I love that. That's
oh,
great. That's great.
it was so nice. He'll do a good job.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, it's so, I mean, so do you think there's going to be a season two?
I hope so. I don't know. We haven't gotten the green light yet. I also have been really battling with myself if I'm going to do it. Um, I want to, a large part of me really wants to. I will say, like, the negativity online is not for
I
the faint
bet.
of heart.
I cannot imagine. I bet. I
It's,
mean,
it's hard. Even if you laugh at it, which I do, like, someone posted, has anyone told me to STFU yet? And I was like, yeah, everybody's told me to shut up, you idiot. But, I just, it's a lot. And right now it's manageable, but I can't even imagine what it would be with like a second season. I'm not afraid to do season two because of me. Like I'm an open book. And the reason I'm not as upset, I think, as other reality stars is because I was myself. So if people hate me, like you really do hate me. Like
yeah,
that's me.
I
If
just
you like
cannot.
me, you really do like me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's just, it's hard. I have to just not read anything. It's people are like someone wrote something like they're worried about my patience because my judgment is clearly so poor.
Oh my
I'm just like,
God.
oh my God, dude, that should be how you start your your medical school application essay. I worry about this doctor's judgment. I'm like, just
Yeah.
stop. So stuff like that, I have to. But otherwise, it was definitely more positive than negative overall. So I'd be open to it. We're all like on our phones all the time, waiting for the text that it's renewed.
Interesting.
We don't know. I think they were waiting for the reunion um, to see how that kind of plays out. And they're casting right now. So we don't know who the newbies are going to be if there is, but there is casting happening
Okay.
or casting conversations happening. So
Any
like they're
sense
asking us
of
who's going to be on. No.
yeah, any changes or what would what can you say? Well, who would your ideal cast be if you were to do it, and if you were to create your ideal cast?
I know this is a boring answer, but I would give everybody a second chance. Like keep the
I
cast.
I love that.
It's hard. Like, it took me a while to kind of get into it. Like, not because I wasn't myself, but because it's hard to just kind of speak up when you're not being spoken to, and that's something you have to learn how to do.
Yeah, I bet.
And then you do too much, and then you have to learn how to take it back. So that's the only thing that kind of changes. I think a lot of people are saying Lexi and Andrea really didn't have much of a presence. And I'm like, yeah, they didn't. From a reality perspective, if you want juicier answer, I love them both dearly, but they'd have to step it up for
Yeah.
season 2. And I'm just like, well, what am I saying? I didn't step anything up. I
Well, but I
just
get right, but also like this is
my life is just intrinsically messier than theirs.
no,
Um,
no, 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 no. I
so
know
it
how
is,
you
it is. So I think that might be a point of change. Honestly, I think seeing Kenny without Whitney would be really interesting.
like to
Which
see single Kenny. I mean, because yeah, it was
I like
well,
to see single Whitney, but I like to see single Kenny. I like to see Kenny maybe dating with challenging women and seeing how that maybe teaches him or changes his tune, or I don't know.
totally.
But I do realize that I like them both in the scenes where they weren't with each other. And that kind of brings me to your point, which I never noticed. But you're right. When Amanda and Kyle were separate, I liked them both more. So maybe that. But otherwise, I like to keep, I mean, obviously, Yvonne and Lindsay are my two best friends. They're Nick. I would love to see where Owen and Danielle end up.
Yeah.
Gavin just, he's there to stir the pot. And
He
then
also gets a bad, because he's also single, and I think that just the whole show, like it just, it was. I also think, I also think that I would love to see Carl. I mean, there's a lot of talk of,
Carl so badly on the show. Every time anyone on Threads posts it, I like it and I like repost it. I think he would be such a great addition to the
I would love
show.
to see it. I really think that he wasn't on it because everything is so married and kids centric, and they don't want like. I just feel like, but like I would love it. I think Carl's evolution has been amazing. I would love to see him running soft bar. I would love to see him and Lindsay like interact. Like
That's right. Yeah.
I
I'd love to see him date as a sober man in New York City, like if he's
totally,
interested in dating, which I think he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I don't know him that well. I know him, obviously. I'm best friends with Lindsay and they were together, but I don't really know much about Kyle post breakup, which I
Mhm.
think is really where he grew.
Totally,
So again, two people who shouldn't have been together
yeah,
were
totally,
together and now they're not, and they're both excelling separately. So it's
yes,
like,
yes.
another example of that. And yeah, I would love, I had no idea he opened his bar in honor of his brother. Like nobody told me that.
I
I
love
wish I knew
that.
that before I went there because I would have obviously just told him how proud I am of him. I learned that after the fact. So yeah, we should be filming there, supporting it there. Like,
Yes.
um, I would love to see Carl on the show.
Me too. But I think,
Yeah.
I hope, I just, it worries me that it's a bit of a statement of like sobriety is boring, right? Like, and so it would be great to see him. It would be great to
Yeah,
see him.
I think I would love that. I think it's an important message. I think a lot of people who are millennials are sober or, trying to be or just really cleaning up our acts a little bit. So I think he'd be a great example for people to see, he's not married, he doesn't have kids, he's happy. He's good.
Totally.
He's doing his thing. He's better than he's ever been. Um, and he's respectful. His apology to Lindsay on Summer House was one of the best apologies I've ever seen. It was just like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that on TV.
Yeah.
Done.
I
He didn't
love
say I should
that.
have broken up with you because
Yeah.
he's right. He should have. He said, I'm sorry the way I did it was so public. And that's what she was upset about. Like she was
Mm,
blindsided on national television. Um,
totally.
so all for it. I would love to add him. Don't really want to see West. Come on.
Oh,
Not really sure if I want Amanda back on either, because like their entire story, that whole thing just took over the show.
yeah.
Um, so I think they could go if we're still answering the cast question.
I
So
think
that's
most people want to see, I mean, it seems like most people do not want to see Amanda,
we're done.
you know.
Again, because again, I want to stress so much. I want to see it done because of the sabotage of her friendship with Sierra. I don't really care about her choices and her men. It's just like that beautiful friendship was like, what is wrong with you? That's some again, also society, but like that was the true heartbreak. Uh,
Yeah, I think I mean, I did an emergency podcast about it. I had so many
I
thoughts
have
on
to
it.
listen to that.
I'll send it to you. I think that this relationship was I mean, Amanda and Kyle, when I heard that they were splitting up, I did like a happy dance. Like I remember the moment of it. Like, you remember you remember like moments in your life, like at, and Kyle and Amanda's divorce announcement. I was walking into a yoga class and I saw my phone. I was like, oh my God.
That's great. It's
And
the
I was
best
like,
news ever.
thank God. Yeah. I was like, thank God. And, I think that like they need to, but like jumping in right away to something like that, I think Amanda was just so starved for it. I mean, and it
Affection,
was,
attention. Yeah.
yeah, and she just like can't, she has no confidence, she has no self-worth, and you have to be on your own to build that up. Like you just cannot have that if you're constantly in a relationship. I mean, it's just, I think that's a beautiful thing about divorce and being on your own after, is like that is the opportunity and the growth to like learn about yourself and to have confidence and to know what you're looking for going into something else or not going into something else. I mean, whatever, right? It's just like she can't. There's no way.
And you can't be proud of yourself if it's not just you. I never think I once before have ever said, I'm really proud of myself for like what I've accomplished when I was with anyone. I was in a relationship, and before that I was in another relationship. I was like anyone else, just single for a couple of months and then back with somebody else. And um, you really can't, it's so funny how everyone tells you that, but you really can't see it until you're alone.
Yep,
And
totally.
it's just you and what you choose to do.
Yep,
So that's why I mean, I obviously get a lot of heat for being an Amanda sympathizer. And I'm like, I'm not being an Amanda sympathizer. Kyle was a really shitty husband.
totally.
She was a terrible wife too. They were
Yes.
terrible for each other, but like,
Yep,
he wasn't this like golden boy. He's the best ex-husband ever. Like,
totally. I
she's
love what
really,
you said, and I loved when you said that on the reunion. You were like, "You got a golden ticket." Like it's true. Like everyone hated him until, but it's
yeah.
like let's not forget. Like let's not forget here,
Yeah,
guys.
people hated him and they worshipped her. They were like, she's a queen. And they were like, he fumbled a queen, all these comments. And I'm like, and now all of a sudden he's like God's gift to the planet Earth. I'm just like, no, he's doing a great job with all of this. Most people would have been much angrier, but that also goes to show how done they were, you know? Like, no ex-husband is this cool with all of it if he wasn't so checked out.
Totally.
But I said that too. I was like, the fact that you guys can talk about who you're sleeping with without fighting means you really are over each other.
Oh yeah,
Um,
exactly. No, yeah, for sure. Right.
so
Yeah, yeah,
we're happy for each other. Well, she was happy for him. So it's just, he really lucked out, like this scandal, her acting worse than he ever acted in their marriage really helped him. So
totally.
I stick by that too. It's not me sympathizing with her. It's just stating the obvious, the facts.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and yeah, she suffered. So did he, but she hasn't been happy for the past 10 years,
yeah, yeah.
So this is a very poor choice on how to move forward.
Yes.
That destroyed a friendship and is horrible. It's just, do I want to see her back on the show? No, because I don't want to talk about this ever again.
Yeah.
But I really hope she finds self-help.
Yeah. I mean, I would watch her alone, single, like that, I mean, that could
I
be.
also said that to her at the reunion. They cut out the rest of it when I was like, you kind of can undo this a little bit.
Oh,
My comment. And then she was like, how? And I said, you can break up with him and start repairing your friendship. And
yeah,
then they cut that out and they just left it with me being like, you can undo it a little bit, which is the same point. But yeah, the first step is dumping the guy. The second step is starting to make amends if you want to. But that's an option here. You're not shackled to this guy.
totally.
You can't see that. She can't. She keeps saying, I can't undo it. Like in her
Yeah.
head, this is it. So
Well, it was kind of like when they were married. Like I was like, I mean, you have options. Like you don't have to stay in this marriage, either one of them, right? I mean, this is an example of, like you said before, when people show you who they are, right? I mean, Kyle, this was from the beginning, right? Amanda has asked, I've been asking you to do this for 10 years. It's like, well, you haven't done it. So like, you're not going to, and you can leave at
you're
any
not going
point.
to. Exactly. You're a free person.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. So just like, yeah, I, I don't know what'll happen with her, and I do wish her the best, despite all of
Yeah.
everything.
I do
Like,
too. Oh yeah.
I don't think anyone should have anyone wishing ill upon them. She's very much on the wrong course to achieving that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
TBD there, but I don't think she'll be back. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm going to be back. They haven't asked me. They
Yeah.
haven't asked anybody. They haven't renewed. So I guess we'll know more hopefully in the next few weeks because we'd start filming at the end of September. So I also kind of need to know.
Yeah, right, totally. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Schedule with patients and kids that I need to
Yeah.
figure out. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll let us know soon. I hope we get renewed.
I hope so too. I mean, I think it's so great. I think it's really valuable. I think all of you are really brave. It was really refreshing to see you guys. I love Lindsay. I've always loved Lindsay, and people who do not like her or you are just, again, afraid of like,
Women.
yeah, that's just what it
Yeah.
is. That is just
Oh,
what it is.
Lindsay's the best friend you could ever have in your life. Everyone who says I'm a
I
minion, I'm like,
imagine.
do you guys not have friends?
Yeah. Oh,
We're
that was
friends.
so, this is what I mean. He hates what the hating women
Yeah,
is.
Whitney called us minions too.
And
She called us minions too in her confessionals. She kept calling us the minions. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, she said I can either be a minion or I can't have friends. I'm like, we are not minions. We are friends. We support each other and we disagree and we fight and we make up. Like Lindsay and I have actually never had a fight because we're both so honest that
I
it's
love it.
like the fight never even happens. There's a disagreement, but it's just like, okay, like that's it. We disagree, period. Like we
Yeah,
don't have to agree here. We
totally.
don't fight because we don't talk about each other. We're not passive aggressive. We're just blunt.
You guys both seem, that's what you guys both seem, I mean, again, TV, but like you both seem really authentic and direct and just like, I mean, that's what it is, authentic and direct. And like,
she's just such a kind. She's like she forgot her sunglasses here at my apartment the other night when she was over, and she left for their cast trip, which apparently is the news now. Summer House is having a cast trip.
oh,
And
okay.
was like, oh my gosh, I need to get you your sunglasses. And I have food poisoning. And I'm like, I can Uber them to you. Like, she loves these sunglasses. And she was like, I have so many. I was like, Lindsay, I know these matter to you. She called
Aw.
me. She was like, listen, I have about 100 pair of sunglasses. You're vomiting. Like, stop worrying about the sunglasses. And I was like, okay. So, like, it's just a friendship that's just support. And no, I'm not being a minion trying to get her sunglasses. I just know that she wants them for her vacation. Like, anyone else
That's
would.
an insane, and it's an insane thing to say. I mean, Whitney she has to agree with Kenny because she's fawning. I mean, because otherwise, she's got to keep the relationship, and so she has to agree with him. So she has to like unite against you guys, which is really just sad for her.
Well, we tried to. Oh, you should rewatch part one of the weekend away. Sorry, I
Okay.
know I'm taking more of your time than I'm
No,
supposed to.
I please.
Um, um, yeah, there was a point where we sat down for that first night's dinner where Amanda and Kyle end up fighting at the end. Like the only real dinner you got to see because the Friendsgiving didn't get filmed as much as it should have. Um, but Whitney sat with us at our end of the table. You know how during the scene Tweedledee and Tweedledum were at the other side of the table, Gavin and Kenny?
Yeah.
So at the
Yeah.
beginning of that dinner, Whitney sat with us next to Amanda across from me.
Okay.
And filming was there. You can see a part where she's still sitting there. And then when Kenny sat on the other side of the table, he told her to go over there, Whitney. And she looked at him and she was like, no, I'm fine. We're here. Like, I'm chatting with the girls. And he looked at her. He was like, come sit here. And she got up and sat there. She left us and sat with him. And I even made a point to like look at Lindsay and be like, what?
I do not like
And
that.
why did you make her get up and sit next to you? Why couldn't she just sit with us? If
I
you
do.
so badly want her to be friends with us
I
so
do not
much,
like that. I do not
then
like that.
good
He
for
was
him.
scared. He was scared. He was scared that you were going to say something or that, you're,
So I was upset. I was
yeah.
really upset when she got up. I was like, I wasn't excited that this person was sitting across from me and I could actually talk to her and we can catch up. It was like the girls' end of the table because on the other side was Owen and then Kenny and then Gavin. And then Kyle and Nick were near us, but like it was really a nice setup where I was like, this is great because you never really get to pick where you're going to sit. You kind of just sit, except at the wedding dinner, they had us seated. But I was so happy. And then I remember her going like a little sad face to both of us. And then she got up and sat next to me.
I hate
Hmm.
that. I hate it so much. Well, it just is, I mean, you know what it really is? Wait, it was you and Lynn. It was just Kenny is
Me, Lindsay,
afraid.
Yvonne, and Amanda, the four of us were all, and Whitney, we were all chatting.
Yeah,
Um,
he's afraid that I mean, this is like maybe an extreme statement, but like the worst read of it is he's afraid of your divorce being contagious. Like he's scared that like you guys are going to say something to her, influence her. Like this is,
yeah,
this
or
is
yeah, or just, I feel like it almost felt like he didn't want her to have fun with us.
yeah, no, it's a
Like,
control
like
thing. It's
people could be happy without a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe it was just like you're saying you remember moments. I remember being disappointed and worried, and then
yeah.
waiting for it in the footage, but it wasn't there. But there is part of that episode where you can see at one point at the beginning she's sitting with us, and then all of a sudden she's on the other side.
Mm, interesting.
Um,
I'll
yeah,
rewatch
so
it.
that happened. So that was bad.
I do
But
not like it.
it's also like stop bitching at us for saying we didn't include her when you literally didn't let her sit with us. That
Yeah.
like some Mean Girls thing, you can't sit with us. Like he did that to her. She couldn't
Yeah.
sit with us.
No, it's a control thing, I'm sure. I mean, he just yeah, yeah. No, I do not like that. I don't like that at all.
No, and what is he going to say? I wanted her next to me. Why? Also, can't you be secure enough to sit by yourself,
I mean,
Kenny? Like, why can't you sit alone
he can't be.
with your friend?
If he were a secure person, he actually wouldn't even be with her because he wouldn't because there's no spark and he's not really seeing a future. And if he were confident in his ability to be alone or to break up with her and disappoint
Yeah.
her, then he would do that. But
And he wouldn't be in an 8-year relationship and an 11-year relationship back to back. Like, we're all telling Amanda she needs to be alone. God forbid we look at Kenny and say, maybe you needed some time alone too.
totally.
Your mom died. Like, that's a real thing to go through. I mean, I hate what he said, where he was like, I needed time to myself. And then we found out it was because he was sleeping with other women. But like, absolutely saying to a new relationship, I can't focus on you right now because of my grief is fair.
Totally.
But then ending it, not
Right,
like
ending it.
stringing it along.
Well, that is a red flag. Like their whole like, oh, we had to figure it out. Like that's a red flag. Like I mean, if you just
Grief is real. Energy is finite. Like you can absolutely say, my energy is going to go into this, and I'm really sorry. I really hope we can reconnect when I'm healed. Fine, but not. And I said that to him. I was like, it's it's tragic. That's heartbreaking to hear what you went through and what your mom did for you, and how upsetting it is to have her die so young. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't. Those two
totally.
things are not related. Like,
Right.
you don't get to just sleep around and then string somebody along. You
Well,
end it.
he has like the marriage bucket and the sex bucket. So he put the marriage, he put her on pause and then he went to fuck around and then he was like, okay, now I want a wife, and he can't like hold that like women can be both those things,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so and that's also like the spark
Fascinating.
comment.
Yeah, that's actually fascinating. I never even thought about it. Like, I like that we're hashing this out. Um, but yeah, that the security thing, it's also another paradox with men and women, or a double standard rather. Everyone's telling Amanda she needs time alone. Like, nobody has once commented to Kenny, oh wow, you went from an 11-year relationship to an 8-year relationship and then you went right into another one. Like, why didn't you take time alone?
Totally.
No one says
Totally.
that to the guy.
Yeah. 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 I do. I say it to my clients all the time.
But
Yeah.
we need more of you.
They don't listen. Yeah. I mean, what can you do? Um, yeah, I mean, there's so much. Well, this is all like again, it's so fascinating. I just feel like there's so much to talk about and so much to learn.
Well, like analyzing it this way is so fascinating. I think what people really need to know is that watching people on TV is you're watching people. Like, we're not characters or like actors. Like we're real people. I think
Totally.
a lot of the time some of the comments and messages are just like they think that it's like a Disney character or something. I'm just like, no, you're humans. And
Yes.
some people send messages in private that are mean-ish, but not, right? Because like I always tell people, when you write a mean comment, if you're saying it's because you're trying to give me advice or be in my best interest, then you would have sent it privately.
Mm,
Some people will send me a private message saying, I know you don't want to hear this, but X, Y, Z. And I'm like, thank you for the feedback. Like, I appreciate you doing this through a private message. Threads is different because it's meant to be public, but Instagram, I'm just like, why are people so mean on Instagram?
people are mean. I know. I mean, I am compared to obviously like my, I have teeny tiny, handful of followers, but I'm posting more about just therapy stuff and relationship stuff and, stuff that I want to share. And people are mean. People have said things to me like, I can't believe you're a psychologist. Like, who gave you a degree? I mean, the same kind of thing when I talk about like reality TV or I say things that are people don't really want to hear all that much. And it's just like, it is wild. So,
Wild. You're like, no, I'm a PhD. It's real. I earned it. It's not going
yeah,
anywhere. But that was before you even wrote this comment. That existed. That's like
yeah,
people are like, I'm just like, oh my God, if anyone else says something about me being a doctor and being dumb, I'm like, I'm not dumb.
I
So
cannot.
I
Yeah.
just, I wish people would view reality TV as a learning experience the way you're portraying it, more so than like an area where you just get to bash people. We signed up for it. Like we have a therapist talk to us from Bravo about
Interesting.
what's to come. Yeah, they force it after being cast, during filming, after filming, and pre-airing. We have to sit down with somebody,
Interesting. What is
which
that
is
like?
really,
Can you say a little more about that? I'm so curious.
yeah, she's awesome. It was basically like after it aired was like the big one. The pre ones were like, do you have Instagram? Do you read messages? How do you feel about people's opinions? Things like just general questions. But after it aired, or right before it aired, it was like, are you worried? What are you worried about? And I kind of was just like, I'm not really that worried. I was just myself. So I have nothing. I'm really, if I ever did anything, it was me. And that held true. And then afterwards, it was, are you reading the comments? Are you on Reddit? Are you on? And at first, my first visit, I was just like, no, I haven't read anything. And then obviously you're human and you're going to go read everything. And she had me read some to her comments and I was laughing at most of them because they were so funny. But then some of them were really mean.
Yeah,
And it's almost like more like a reminder, like the therapist reminds you, like, you are who you are, nothing's changed. These comments don't change anything about who you are, what you've done. So
totally.
just like remember, these are just people who have nothing really better to do. And I don't like that. I comment on things and I have better things to do.
Yeah,
um,
me too.
but it's just more like it just don't take anything personally because most of the time the comments have more to do with the commenter than you.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. Like, I mean, depending on what it is, I mean, if it's like mean, that then yeah, like obviously they don't know you, but it says more about them than it does about you, and
Yeah, so that was really helpful. So you're so good. That was really helpful. So they do force that because it is a big thing to do.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I was so grateful when they had that. Not even because I thought I needed anything, which everyone does, but it was more like, I'm glad to know all of these people on TV have been through some sort of a therapy session because you need it. And you also, like, if you're a bad person, whatever that is, it's gonna kind of come out.
totally. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, like
True self will show eventually. You can't hide who you are. Uh,
totally. Yeah.
So I find myself like funny things I always do. Like I always open the door for people when there's a person trying to get into the toy store with a stroller. I'll always hold the door open for her. And that happened the other day. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I know you from in the city." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I feel like she might have thought I was doing it because I'm on the show. And I'm like, "No, like I would just do this. This is something I normally do. Like I help
Yeah.
others." So, but I'm like thinking in my head, if I'm somebody who just like lets the door slam and I'm on TV and someone saw that, I'm like, that could get videoed and be put on. So there's like
Totally.
little things that start to happen. You're like, I'm really glad I'm a good person. So,
Interesting. Well, yeah, and you're a mom, so like on some level, I mean, it's like on some level you think about, I mean, you don't change who you are,
there
obviously,
was
but
there was a person behind me on vacation. I didn't know. She sent me a message after I posted my Aruba thing, and she was like, "I was sitting behind you guys on the beach, like they had the chairs behind us 3 days." And she was like, "I didn't want to bother you because you were with your family. I just want to say I'm a big fan and watching you, mom, in real life. You're a great mom. You're
oh,
such
I
a
love
wonderful mom."
that. I love
I was like,
that.
how nice of
I love
she
that.
didn't bother me at all, which wouldn't have bothered me, but she was like, "You're an amazing mother." I was like, this woman watched me like allow my kid to eat a Frito out of the sand after he dropped it. She probably
What are
watched
you gonna
me
do?
say
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, I know. It's just like she probably watched me discipline them because they did, and
of
she.
course.
So it was really refreshing for me to hear like this is the same person you are on TV, and I'm really happy I got to see it in real life. I was like, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I wasn't thinking anything. Like this is who
I
I
love
am.
that. I love that so
So
much. Well, and also like it's someone seeing you. I think the other thing with like single motherhood is like, you're so right, like you're disciplined,
Alone.
you're dealing with it on your own, and no one's seeing like the emotional energy, whatever's going into you parenting. You're by yourself doing it, and and it can feel
Nobody's
really
appreciating it. No
right.
adult is appreciating it and being like, you're
Exactly.
such a good mom. Like, I don't think anyone ever says that to me. Like, my
Yeah.
friends do, but I imagine in relationships that are happy with good parenting, the other parent does say, you're a. Dad or a great
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone saying that to me.
Totally. Totally.
I don't need it, but it would be
Well,
nice.
of course you do. I mean, yeah, like you do. It's okay, like
I would love that, but again, it's not, I don't want it enough to date anybody. Lindsay tells me I'm a great mom all the time.
of course she does. I'm sure because you
Like
are. Of course
all the
you're.
time, like randomly, I'll get a text from her during the day. Like
No,
something happens with Gemma, it's hard, and she's like, "I don't know how you do this. You're an amazing mom,"
I
and I
love that.
respect because
I
I'm just like, "You're an amazing mom. You're doing great." Blah blah
I love
blah. But
that.
yeah,
Yeah. My single mom friends and I, we do that a lot too, right? Like whatever, it's like whatever we're dealing with, it's like the response is like, you're an amazing mom. Like you got this. It just is, and you could tell how you talk about your kids. And that last scene when they came on, it was just, you're an amazing mom, and Lindsay's an amazing mom. And I love
she's an
like the two
amazing
of
mom.
you together, like like I would watch a
Oh
whole
yeah,
show. I
we
would
took
watch.
the kids trick or treating together, and they didn't air it because I guess it was too boring. It was so funny. Eloise trying to escape. Gemma just wants the candy. She's like trying to eat it with the paper still on. Her chubby little face. And my son is like the cutest, sweetest boy. He's like saying please and thank you for no reason, by the way, because he has learned please and thank you. So he would just go up and be like, trick or treat, please, thank you. And be like, no, Robert. But like,
Amazing.
I get it. People don't want to watch that, but they
No,
should,
I do.
they should
I do. I
feel
want to watch it. But again, no one cares. No one cares about me either. A mom, like no one cares about what. But like, I would watch a whole. I totally.
it's
That is
so
amazing.
like my daughter like opened a piece of candy and threw the wrapper on the floor and I missed it. And then I hear Lindsay being like, no, 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 Eloise, we don't litter. And I remember thinking in my head, like, that's what I would have said to her. Good. And like
Totally.
a lot of people don't say no or whatever. I know there's a whole thing there, but I remember thinking in my head, like, I'm so grateful that there was this person teaching my kid not to litter when I
Totally.
missed it, because she should be told not to do that. It's
For
bad.
sure. Yeah.
And then Lindsay looked at me and they filmed it. And she was like, I'm sorry. Like, is it okay that I said that to her? And I was like, of course it's okay. Thank
Totally.
you.
Yeah.
And it was such a moment that we both remember. And they didn't put it on TV because no one cares about
Well,
women raising
maybe
kids by themselves.
if there's a season 2 and you guys are on it, there'll be more.
Yeah.
I loved watching you. The little that we saw of like you guys parenting together was like, so like the walk. There was like the scene when you guys took a walk and your daughter was like in the corner and it was like New York City. I was like, this is the best. Like
Yeah.
it's very real. It just is so real, and it really shows what you deal with and how important that friendship is. And like, yeah, parenting each other's kids. Like I have good friends who like they'll just like my son has a best friend and the two of them are crazy, and when I'm with the mom, we're really good friends too, and we will both, whatever we need to say to our kids, we'll say to the other kid, and it's very like it's really special and it's very appreciated, because yeah,
It's it's special and
yeah,
appreciated. Those are the full words.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So hopefully next season, but we'll see if we get renewed.
I hope
Um,
so. Fingers crossed. And of course, you should do whatever you need to do for yourself and your
yeah.
mental
Oh,
health. But
I know myself. I'll be in. I know who I am.
I would love to see
Yeah.
you again. I thought it was like, so from the beginning, I was like, I am all about this. Like, I really loved
Thank
meeting
you.
you, seeing you on the show, seeing you and Lindsay. I mean, yeah, it was so great. So thank you for sharing your life with us. I mean,
My pleasure. I'm glad I could help anyone out. So, with watching me. So that's the goal. That's why I would do it again.
totally. I mean, I think that that's, again, like, it's really brave, and it really is like people want to relate. People, the biggest thing I mean, so much of what I see is like people don't understand that other people go through the same things that they're going through. And so that's why I'm like, you have to watch this show to see that other people are going through this, whatever it is. Like, there's always some example of what we're talking about. It's amazing. Georgina, thank you so much for coming. This is seriously a dream and a pleasure. I cannot wait to share this with people, and this is like really the best thing. So thank you so much for coming.
It was my honor, my pleasure to be here. Thank you
So
for having
sweet.
me. I appreciate it.
This has been Talk Relationship to Me, produced by Peach Island Productions. I'm Dr. Elana Hoffman. if you have a question about relationships, I would love to hear from you. You can find me on my website, drelanahoffman.com, or on Instagram, dr.elana or on TikTok, same handle. And you can find Georgina also on Instagram and TikTok.
I'm at DermDocNY for both Instagram and TikTok and Threads. And then my website's just GeorginaFerzliMD.com.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you so much. This has been amazing.